Hello everyone, it's Mr. Gorman from first grade, and this video is to explain, at least to some degree, the marking system that we use in Literacy Essentials when we are marking our words. The most basic mark is the underline, and the most common use of the underline is to underline a two-letter phonogram. So for example, the phonogram E-A needs two letters. So to show that these are two letters working together to make one sound, we underline them both like that. Same goes for other phonograms like sh or th. We underline both of them to show that these are two letters working together to make one sound. The next most common would be to underline a vowel to show that it is saying its name or its second sound. So for example, in a word like there's a specific kind of example that I'm trying to come up with, but my mind is suddenly blanking on them. Well, in a word like Pete, for example, this E is saying its name, it's not saying pet, so we underline it to show it. This carries us directly into other uses of the underline. For example, the double underline to show that a letter is silent. We don't say peta or pita or pt. And in this case, this is a silent final E, which is, as I'm sure you all know, that's what's making the E say its name, because normally in a word like pet, that would be saying eh. So we add the silent final E, it makes the E say E, but because silent final E needs a consonant, we underline the T as well. So this is a case where an underline basically just means, hey, this letter is kind of important. Now, this is not just any old silent final E, this is silent final E job 1. There are actually 6 different jobs. Well, in fact there are more, but we lump a bunch of them together under silent final E job 6. This is silent final E job 1. Silent final E job 2 is in words like have. There we underline the V, and we double underline the E and give it a 2 to show it's silent final E job 2. Silent final E job 2 is, we call it V and U job 2 because it is making sure that the word is not ending with either a V or a U, because English words do not end with V or U. Why is that? I don't know. The gods of English spelling have so declared, I suppose. Silent E job 3 is, we call it silent, or C and G job 3. It is in words like dance, or in words like large. In dance, it's making the C say S instead of K, and it's making the G say J instead of G. So we underline the letters that are the reason for the silent final E, and we double underline the E with a 3 to show that it's silent final E job 3. In the case of large, AR is our phonogram R, so I have underlined that as well for, as I mentioned above. Sounds like an essay, wow. Silent final E job 4 is for when an English syllable does not have a syllable. Sorry, when an English syllable does not have a vowel. So for example, in the word table. Now here actually this is the example that I was hunting for earlier. This is an open vowel, which is why the A is saying A instead of A. And so we underline it to show that this is a vowel saying its name. The dot shows a break between two syllables, but this syllable does not have a vowel. So we have to add a silent E job 4 to show, or to ensure that that syllable has a vowel. That's silent E job 4. Silent E job 5 is my favorite. That is when a main ideal word ends with an S, such as in nurse. Oh, and that's the of hurt, by the way. We have to show that this is not the plural of the word ner, because you can't really tell the difference. So we add a silent final E job 5, and because of that S, the S is the reason for that silent final E job 5, so we underline that S. This shows that it's one nurse and not multiple ners. And then to pluralize it, of course, we say nurses. So that's the 5 main silent final E's. There are also a bunch of other silent final E's that we lump under silent final E job 6. These are pretty much any other time you have a silent final E, and it could be any number of reasons. Some say that they are stretching words out. Some say that they used to be pronounced. It depends on which particular word it is. So that's silent final E. And again, now, silent letters don't just apply to silent final E. In a word like bomb, we would underline that last B because obviously we don't say bomb. Next, you may have noticed that I put a 3 on top of this O. That is because many phonograms have multiple sounds, especially vowels. So in this case, O is, we call O ah, o, oo, because it can say ah, like in pot, or O, like in tote, or oo, like in shoe. So we put a 3 to show that it is the ah, o, oo, the third sound of O that's being said. Similarly, in a word like show, sh is its own phonogram, and ow, o is its own phonogram, but because here it's saying O and not ow, we put a 2 on top. Lastly, we sometimes use what we call a spelling cap. A spelling cap is what we use when a phonogram is not saying one of its normal sounds. So for example, the word away. Alright, so this is 2-letter A that we do use at the end of English words. This is an open syllable A, so it should be saying its name. So we mark it like that, but when we speak, although we spell it a way, when we speak, we say a way, as though it were, as though it were spelled like that. So we put a spelling cap on top, and we call this a two-way word, which means we say it differently when we're speaking it as when we're spelling it. So hopefully this helps to give you some understanding of the spelling lists when you receive them, and when, because I know sometimes I send them back marked and written out instead of just the reading list. So hopefully this helps you gain some understanding of what's going on sort of behind the scenes. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.